Call the Kitty Hawk Town Council to order Monday, August the 5th, 2013, Kitty Hawk Town Hall at 6 p.m. Want to welcome everybody out tonight. I appreciate you coming. Ask you to join in a moment of silence and a pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Next is the approval of the agenda, and Public Works Supervisor Mark Dean, for 10 years service, will not be able to be here tonight, so we can mark him off till next month. Other than that, I don't have any changes. Anybody else got any changes to the agenda? Hearing none. Motion for approval?
No changes, I move for approval.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. So first is certificate of appreciation for Eagle Scout Liam Kinney. And John's going to do that, I believe.
Liam, if you come on up. How you doing? Liam, the Kitty Hawk Town Council takes great pleasure in awarding this certificate of appreciation with your fourth seal as your mentor. This is for your service to the community by the completion of the Eagle Scout Project, a shelter located in Dare County Dog Park, located here in Kitty Hawk. The shelter will provide shade and shelter for both dogs and their owners while visiting the park. Following project contributors are recognized with special thanks to Gassie Lee, Kellogg's, Roof Busters, Albemarle Engineering, Albemarle Bulkheads, Dare County Parks and Recreation, Howe Cotton Barbecue, Zach Isleb, and Tim White. Liam became an Eagle Scout on July 16th, 2013, and his service to our community is noticed, appreciated, and publicly recognized by the Certificate of Appreciation, presented this 5th day of August, 2013.
That was quite a project you did. Thank you. At least you had some help, though.
I was out there last night and it's getting used too. Yep, a lot of people get on there. I will say also, yesterday we had the sandbar race, and this young man, as well as I think Tim Beecham's son was out there at 5 o'clock in the morning, helping out. So it's good job. Thank you.
Good.
And I'd like to add that on the Recreation Committee, the only comments we ever got about the dog park that were not positive was the fact that there was no shade there. So you really filled the need, and we thank you.
Okay, next is Fire Captain J.P. Askew, 15-year service.
Thank you, Mayor, Council. I'd like to just say a couple of words about Captain Askew. He joined the fire department in 1992. He started out as a junior firefighter. He's worked his way through the ranks up to fire captain. He's a tremendous asset to this town and this community. I'd say in the last 5 years since he's been up here, his attention has been on training. He's done an excellent job in training our new firefighters as well as the old ones that have been there, and looking after our training program. And like I said, he's a huge asset. And it's my pleasure to recognize you. It says the town of Kitty Hawk, North Carolina, is forever grateful to Jonathan P. Askew for 15 years of faithful and dedicated service to the town. July 14th, 1998 through July 14th, 2013, presented the 5th day of August by the mayor and town council. Thank you.
Next is public comment. We have anybody signed up for public comment, Lynn?
No, sir.
Does anyone wish to speak at public comment? Okay, next is consent agenda.
Motion to approve as promulgated.
A second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, items removed from consent agenda, we don't have any of those. And item number 8, a public hearing, conditional use permit. And Joe, you want to come up? And I believe the attorney is going to take care of the conditional use permit.
Is there anyone else who's going to speak at this conditional use permit public hearing? If you would come up and if you and Joe would be sworn, please.
Thank you, Mayor Perry, members of council, and members of the public in attendance. We have before you this evening for a public hearing is a conditional use permit, a request to convert the existing office and storage space on the second floor of the building at 4009 North Croatan Highway to a 2-bedroom apartment. The building, as many of you sitting up here may recall, back in 2010, was converted for use as a daycare center, the Right Place Child Care Center. And at that time, that space was dedicated for office and storage use. Since then, the business has moved the office facilities downstairs, leaving not much use for that space, and they have decided to request the conversion of that to an apartment. From speaking with the applicant, it is her intent to rent that space to an employee of the business initially. Long term, it could be rented to anyone. The town does not dictate who can be rented to, but it would be a 2-bedroom apartment. Just in looking at the various standards that the town has, most of these are outlined in your staff report, so I'll just do a brief summary of some of the key points. The main thing is it's just converting an existing space, so items such as lot coverage, building setbacks, access, traffic flow, none of those things are changing as a result of this application, so all of those will continue in the manner that they have in the past. The key things that we took a look at were evaluating the parking requirements for the use. One of the things here is that the conversion of that space from office, the portion that was dedicated for office space, to a 2-bedroom apartment, it actually reduces the minimum parking requirement on site. So whereas the site was already compliant previously, it is now even more compliant. Basically, running the calculations shown in the staff report, there would be 21 parking spaces required to accommodate the daycare center and the apartment, and there are 29 spaces existing on site, so it does comply with that standard. Just also wanted to point out that the Dare County Department of Environmental Health has issued a permit for approval of the existing septic system to accommodate the apartment as well as the the daycare center with a maximum of 70 children at the daycare center. And looking at the other agency that regulates the daycare type of use, and they do need a good acronym for this one. The North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services Division of Child Development and Early Education. I'll need a breath after that one. Presently, the business has a license for up to 90 children at this site. With the conversion to the apartment and the health department only approving it for up to 70 children, that would cause a change in that state permit to reflect the health department requirements. So in other words, the business, the daycare facility, the number of children that would be permitted would now be a maximum of 70 when that permit is updated as a result, should this be approved. In the staff report, we did list the conditional use findings that the town council is asked to make as part of your deliberation. Staff has put some comments and ideas there for your consideration. And other than that, just wanted to note that the planning board did review this application at their meeting on June 13th, and the board members voted unanimously to recommend approval of this conditional use permit. The motion was that the board found this proposal to be consistent with the town's adopted land use plan and recommended approval of the conditional use permit subject to the condition that compliance must be achieved with all building and fire code requirements before issuance of a certificate of occupancy for the second floor apartment. And I'd certainly be glad to answer any questions.
Before you go any further, Mr. Attorney, we didn't make a motion to go into public.
I don't think you actually have to do it. You were in a public hearing at this point simply by declaration.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure we were okay.
You're okay.
Okay. I didn't want to stop you in the middle so you'd have to do it over again.
Okay. And that's I've completed mine. Certainly glad to answer any questions if the council members have any.
Okay,
I don't have any.
I didn't have any.
All right, thank you. Ms. Riley, do you wish to address the council? Does the council have any questions for Ms. Riley? Does anyone else wish to address the council on this matter? Seems to be all, but,
Okay, do we need to go out of public hearing?
You can do it by motion, or you can simply close the public hearing, however you wish.
Well, by motion, we just, all those in favor to close the public hearing? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Then you can take care of that, Ms. Happ.
Actually, it's not that much. I noticed that the county, the chair kind of does that, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. It's not required that you actually have to have
Okay.
a motion and vote to do all that, but,
We're just not used to it.
I just wanted to make sure we were okay.
you're okay.
Okay.
You wanna make-
Okay, regular
Yeah,
session.
I'll make the motion. I move to grant approval of this conditional use permit application to convert the existing office storage space on the second floor of the building at 4009 North Croatan Highway to a two-bedroom apartment, subject to the condition that compliance must be achieved with all building and fire code requirements before issuance of a certificate of occupancy. Town council concurs with the conditional use findings in the staff report, finds that the approval of this conditional use permit is consistent with the town's adopted CAMA land use plan, and finds that granting approval is in the public interest.
Second.
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Next is item 9, planning, and it's called for a public hearing, a zoning amendment. Richard,
I would
that's
move
yours.
to set a public hearing regarding the proposed zoning amendment at 108 Ascension Drive
for the town council meeting of September 3rd, 2013.
Second?
Okay, any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay. Next is new business. Agreement with Albemarle and Associates for stormwater management design services for Hawk Street Emergency Pumping Facility.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, per our meeting in July, I had to discuss the stormwater management project on Hawk Street with Mr. DeLucia, Albemarle Associates, and Public Works Director Willie Midget. And based on a discussion with Mr. DeLucia and Mr. Midget, we have determined the best location for a sump basin would be on the property at 4400 North Virginia Dare Trail. This will require an easement, but once the easement is obtained, we can prepare drawings and big documents and advertise the construction. Mr. DeLucia submitted an agreement for professional services for surveying, easement plat, engineering, bidding, and construction administration for this project. The total cost of the agreement is $7,800, and the funding can come from the Powell Bill funds. We presently have a balance of $454,031 in the Powell Bill fund. So, any questions on that?
I have two, but I'll make a motion and then ask the question while
Okay,
deliberating. So I move approval of the agreement for professional services for stormwater management design services per the attached agreement. I further authorize the town manager to execute said agreement for $7,800 and authorize the funding to come from the Powell Bill. That said, I have two questions.
do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay.
Mr. Lucia, do you anticipate a problem with the easement? Have you been in touch with anybody?
I have been in touch with the property owner and received an email back that they're willing to grant us the easement.
Okay.
And
All
it's gonna be a very small easement. It's gonna be on one lot. It's probably gonna be 10 feet wide and 15 or 20 feet long.
And it benefits him probably better than anybody around.
I don't think he was even aware that was part of his property.
Okay. The next question.
And we've already checked the health department records. We've got plenty of separation, so it won't affect any of his septic or any
Okay.
future developability of his property.
When we first discussed this, there was discussion about east side, west side standpipe. We're going with the east side,
I think we should.
and I agree. Do you have
Okay.
any problem?
No, I just made the suggestion if it was a problem.
Okay, all
you
right.
know.
So, all right, so we're going to east side. Don't anticipate a problem with the easement.
And
We
we've
should
already,
be
DOT's already allowed us, is gonna allow us to cut the road.
Excellent.
So
All right.
that should say.
Then all we gotta do is approve it and move on.
Okay.
Call the vote.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Just to let y'all know, the ULOCO is supposed to locate this week, probably by tomorrow. The survey should be finished by the end of the week. I'm gonna try to knock this out and try to get it bid as quick as we can.
I wonder why.
Yeah.
Well, it is August.
Yeah.
But the Farmer's Almanac says we're not gonna get it started until October.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is reports and general comments from the town manager.
Mr. Mayor, members of council, I just want to mention that I'll be meeting with Jerry Jennings, Division Engineer for NCDOT, and Malcolm Faring, our Transportation Board member, on the 12th of this month to discuss the possibility of getting NCDOT involved in the outfall project at East Kitty Hawk Road and NC-12, after which I will report back to council on the results of that meeting. So I just want to mention that to members of council. Also, I received a draft report on the beach management concept assessment from Coastal Planning and Engineering. I have distributed a copy to all members of council, and we'll schedule a presentation at the September council meeting. We propose that once the presentation from Coastal Planning and Engineering, that we establish a date for the public hearing on municipal service districts. We're still waiting for the maps from Dare County, but we should have those maps at least by September. We also plan to discuss our financial situation once we have established some cost elements with DEC Associates so that we can be prepared to report our financial capabilities for these projects. So I just wanted to mention that, and that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Reports and general comments from the town attorney.
The only thing I need to report to the council is we did receive an appeal in the Winks matter, so that will proceed through the court system now.
Okay. Reports and general comments from the town council.
I have nothing, thank you.
Irvin?
Just want to thank the police department and the fire department and Public Works for all their help in this doing on the sandbar. It was a great success. Without you guys, we couldn't have pulled it off. And brought a lot of money in to give back to the people of Dare County, as well as, which Kitty Hawk's the big part of that. So we appreciate your help. Thank you.
Okay. Emily, you got Recreation Committee?
Yes, the Recreation Committee met on Tuesday, the last Tuesday of the month. I guess that would have been July 30th. And they re-elected their current officers, which is Christine Buckner as chairman of the committee, Dusty Rhodes as vice chairman, and Rita Phyllis volunteers to keep the minutes of the meetings, and does a great job with that, and we are in her debt. I welcomed Tom Hefner as the new member who volunteered last month. They discussed some bike rack issues. I don't know exactly what they were, but according to Christine, Willie has already taken care of it. So thank you, Willie. I was not able to attend the meeting, but I got the got this report from the chairperson.
Okay, thank you. Gary?
I don't have a thing.
Nothing. Okay, public comment. Any public comment? Okay, motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
No opposed.